We people like to spend time on the beach and we often find some interesting things close to the shore. Everyone has taken as a souvenir a shell, clam, or some interestingly rounded rock, and if you find a note in a bottle, you're a lucky guy. Some of the objects I will present to you today cannot be identified with certainty, and people don't have a logical explanation how they got on the shore. This is Slavi, and today I will present to you top 10 strange things washed up by the sea. Amongst the tons of plastic and garbage that are made by humans, you can also find some interesting objects and creatures. Now hit the like button and let's look at them together. Number 10. Bananas. On the shores of two Dutch islands, one morning the water brought thousands of bananas and the shore got very green. The fruits were in containers that during a storm fell out of a ship and were washed up on the beach. The locals quickly took as much as they can, but unfortunately there was a bit of a problem. The bananas were not ripe yet, and what was the bigger problem, they were also very salty. The bananas spent a little too much time in the ocean, and because of this their flavor was not sweet but salty and very revolting. The police decided to give them to the local zoo so as to not throw them away. In the zoo, the animals spent weeks munching on some salty bananas. They were probably not the tastiest bananas, but eventually they were all eaten. Share in the comments below, what is the strangest thing you have ever found on the beach? Number 9. Oil pipe. In the summer of 2017, a new attraction washed up on the shores of England. A giant 100-meter oil pipe with a diameter of 2 meters. Of course, it's a human creation and the only question is, where did it come from? After a brief investigation, the authorities found out it fell from a cargo ship that was on its way to Algeria. As the course was quite long, the crew did not notice the lacking oil pipe immediately. It is speculated the pipe was flowing through the waves from 1 week to a month. The good thing is, the pipe was not filled with oil or another substance, and so there was no ecological danger. In the United Kingdom, in a short period of time, it became a key place for taking interesting photos for the locals. Soon after this, however, special equipment arrived and took the pipe away. Number 8. Giant snowballs. At first glance, these snowballs, which appeared at the bay in Siberia, look like special handmade crafts, but the strange thing is, these objects are completely naturally made. They appeared in 2016 and were immediately headlines in the news. In size, they reached an entire meter and filled up the entire 18-kilometer boardline. They are the result of a rare natural phenomenon in which fragments of ice, step by step, are molded in a spherical form from the water and the ocean currents. This occurrence is very rare and people don't remember something similar happening before. The Russian media quickly reported the event, and it turns out in 2014 there was such an event at the Michigan Lake. Number 7. Megalodon's tooth. One of the most popular beaches in America is Myrtle Beach in North Carolina, where thousands of people go every weekend during the summer. One day, a 7-year-old boy named Foster stumbled upon a strange fossil that looked very much like a tooth of a big shark. The interesting thing is, the boy was a big shark fan and he was digging in the sand specifically with the idea of finding something related to them. Looks like the power of the mind worked out, because Foster found a tooth bigger than his hand. Sometime later, the marine biologist examined it and came to the conclusion it was a prehistoric fossil of a tooth from the biggest shark species that ever lived, the Megalodon. This was a 20-meter beast that was king of the seas. Thank goodness he disappeared 2.5 million years ago. Number 6. Sneakers. When a cargo ship encounters a strong storm in the sea, there is often a chance of some of the carriers falling in the water and going on their own way. In 2006, this is exactly what happened. This time, in place of bananas, what came out were new sneakers. The locals on the beach immediately took advantage of the situation and took with them as many as they could. After that, the owners of the cargo ship came with authorities and the site was closed out so they can recover their stock. A little while after that, it became clear that nearly 55 containers with cargo fell from the ship. To this day, some of them are still not found. Number 5. Sea mine. In 2015, a family made their vacation to the shores of Wales, and there they found something the mother of the kids described as a big druggie. For the better part, the object was covered with clams and other sea creatures, and by no means did it look like something dangerous. The family took pictures, and the kids even climbed on top of it and played around. After which, the mother proudly uploaded the pictures on Facebook with the caption, "Fun day at the beach." A little while later, a friend of theirs wrote in the comments telling them it's no druggie but a sea mine from World War II. They immediately called the police, which sent teams to revise the object and concluded it's still active. Imagine what luck the entire family had. The children were messing around literally with a bomb. A few hours later, the mine was detonated at a secure place. Number 4. Wax lumps. One morning, the people that lived on the shores of northern France woke up to find thousands of wax lumps with a strange form. Nobody knew where they came from, but they were accompanied by a strong smell of paraffin and wax. By the end of the day, this strange phenomenon began to appear on all borders, stretching miles and miles. The authorities immediately called ecologists and an investigation began. Up until this day, however, an official reason for the appearance of the lumps has not been reported. Experts believe they came from a tanker transporting oil, whose derivative was the paraffin. Such incidents weren't reported in the near past, however. Ecologists are also on the opinion the event is because of the pollution of the oceans. Number 3. The monster from Saint Augustine. Maybe one of the biggest secrets that ever washed up on shores is the creature of Saint Augustine in Florida. It was found by two boys that were riding bikes close to the shore. They thought it was a whale and called the authorities. When they arrived, however, they immediately came to the conclusion it cannot be a whale since it had 7 tentacles. They thought it was a giant octopus and sent a piece of it to be examined in the Smithsonian Museum in 1897. At the time, even they could not say with certainty what the creature was, since it was highly decomposed. Conspiracists speculate it is an ancient creature from the depths of the oceans. Others believe it's just a highly decomposed whale. What do you think it is? Share in the comments below. Number 2. Human feet. From the year 2007 until now, the police in Canada are up against one of their most mysterious cases. Human remains of feet and sneakers appear on the shores of Falls Creek. From 2007 until now, 27 feet have been found and the locals are really scared over the event. The authorities managed to recognize a total of 13 persons whose feet washed up on the shore. Amongst them, there are men and women of different ages. There were also feet that were so badly decomposed that examination was impossible. DNA testing also didn't help out. The victims were of different age groups, but why only their feet turn up? What about the bodies, you may ask? An answer to this question still does not exist. Some are saying it's a serial killer, others believe it's a satanic ritual, and others believe these are people that committed suicide. Number 1. Giant squid. During the centuries, there were countless stories of giant squid that sunk entire ships, which frightened sailors. From here comes the story of the kraken, which is also the most popular in our days. Actually, squid inhabit very deep waters and live in total darkness. There are cases when these creatures swam very close to the shores of Japan and were filmed by local divers. But until this moment, not one has washed up on shore. In 2007, however, on the coast of a Spanish town on the beach, there was a 7-meter squid. The specific photos are taken from an angle so the creature can look all the more impressive. The authorities took the 130 kg specimen and placed it in a museum since it was very rare for such an example to be found. Some time ago, the photo on your screens crossed all websites and magazines, but it turns out it was only the work of an English boy who was practicing his Photoshop skills. Which of the many strange objects that washed up on the beach do you find the most interesting? Give us an answer in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed our videos, feel free to share the wisdom with your friends and leave a comment below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more interesting educational videos every week. See you soon!